All right, let's talk about something about weight. Um, I looked at the Amazon description of this, and of course it was wrong. It said it weighs 4.3 ounces. I went, what? It can't weigh that. This thing feels so light. 1.8 ounces. That's more like it. That's more like it. All right. Compared to what I was carrying, the pyrite before, 3.7 ounces. Um, this was my favorite EDC carry, probably still is. 2.5 ounces for an Elementum. All right. Now, the way I noticed the big difference between weight and how a knife feels is this is the Artisan Archaeo in copper and G10. This thing, 2.2 ounces, 4 ounces, almost double. When you hold this in your hand, this feels like a more substantial knife. This one feels like solid. You know, it feels like it's got something to it. This one right here doesn't really feel like you've got a knife on you. I mean, it's so light. It's got a good blade and everything else. And it's actually got some liners in there. Unlike, that's all your metal right there. The locking mechanism and that, the rest of this is just what they call FRN, but it really feels like just like plastic. Let's talk about the actual bug out. All right. A long time ago, a few years back, I was watching Patty's Potato Peelers, and he had ordered a counterfeit bug out from AliExpress or something like that, and put up a video warning people, watch out for the counterfeits because they're getting very good at it. It's getting very hard for you to tell the difference between a fake and a real one. And he got a lot of flack from that because people were saying, why did you buy a counterfeit? Well, he was putting out a public service announcement, you know, I mean, helping everybody by showing them what to look for. And a lot of people were giving him grief. You're just encouraging that and everything else. And my thought is, it's his money. Again, once again, you can complain and moan about what somebody else does with their money, but it's their money. And so the rest of that's just your opinion. And his idea was he wanted to have something. He didn't want to pay $200 for a Benchmade Bugout, but he wanted to have something that size and basically that weight and everything else to compare it with other knives that he had. Well, the concept behind that is try it before you buy it. And I went ahead and ordered one, and the box and everything else was counterfeit too. It all said Benchmade. You know, there was different ways to tell. You know, the little foam in the back is different, and there's a few other things, but you really have to almost have a one to compare it with. And when I got it, I tried it a little bit, and I just wasn't enamored with it. Just like this, I mean, this is a nice lightweight knife and everything, but it's almost too lightweight. I mean, it still works. It does everything it's supposed to do as a knife, but I mean, it's so lightweight. There's kind of like a sweet spot range of knives, and for me, this is it, where it's about 2.5 ounces or so for a 3-inch blade. You're doing pretty good. With these, it almost feels like the best example I can give is those credit card knives, where the only metal in it is the blade and the rest is plastic. that gives you a difference in balance. Of course, these, because of the metal and everything else, they managed to balance it out. But you would think with all the plastic, of course, you got a little bit of a handle back here. You would think with all the plastic that it would be really blade heavy, but it's not. Excuse me, I got allergies and everything else, and it's really getting me. This is in the morning. But as far as a bug out goes, this thing, when the dinosaurs ordered this for me, I went and looked at the order history and everything, and it's $20. HCR13 MOV, $20. Now, it makes you wonder, all right, if China can make this for $20, and now we've had the Ozark Trails copy one for $10 in D2, it always has a lot of people questioning, why is Benchmade charging $200 for something that really they can make for probably a lot less than $200? You don't mind supporting American industry and business and stuff, but you don't want to be ripped off. And I mean, that's been my biggest complaint about the bug out, is that it's a good design, it's a good idea and everything. It's the cost. The cost of the thing has always thrown me off. And so, again, a lot of people talk. I'm just talking about current events. The current events are there's going to be 125% tariff on all goods from China. And it's worth kind of like investigating this at $20. Is it worth it if it's $40? I don't know. You're still saving a lot of money. I mean, if you were, I don't know, on the fence about a bug out and you didn't have any way of handling one, there was no store or anything else, I think this would still be a good alternative, to, you're getting as close as you can. You're not going to get, the refined materials and all this other stuff that you would get with a bug out and everything. But just like the Osborne 940 and everything, I'm not going to pay that price for that knife. I'm not going to do it. If I like the design and everything and I want to do it, I'll make do with a lesser one. Now, this one looks halfway decent. Looks like it's got washers on both sides. I don't have any problem opening and closing it. It has no blade play. It's fairly sharp. I haven't, all I've done is stropped it a little bit, but it's fairly sharp. This is my last Dollar Tree purchases. I mean, you can't ask more than that from a $20 knife. Now, why didn't I get an Ozark Trail $10 knife? I rarely go to Walmart, and when I do, they never, my knife display, I would put my Walmart up there and challenge it against almost any other Walmart of anybody watching out there for the lack of knife. My Walmart can beat your Walmart for lack of knives, I think. But, yeah, they never had any, and I've never been super desirous of stuff like that. But I always wanted to have one of these kind of as a reference. What did I do with the one that I had? I gave it to my friend. I told him it's not a bug out. It's not, a Benchmade Bugout, even though it says it's on it and everything else. But here you go. Here's a lightweight knife. I think he lost it. Something happened. It disappeared. That's why I gave him another one recently. But I think it's a good concept. I like the design. It's lightweight. I'm not a huge fan of thumb studs, but if I do it right, it works every time. I just got to put enough pressure on it, throw it out there. It doesn't pull on underneath my thumb as much. Like I said, the detent or whatever, the way it's done, it's not really a detent. It's going against this lock spring. Um, yeah, they even put a little fancy, different colors on it and everything. And I- I'm not going to take it apart because, you know, it's working right now. And you probably can find a bunch of videos on it. I think this one was called Gosh Hawk or something like that, or some brand like that. There's several of them that look identical. Now this one has no markings on it. It's like a clean blade, no markings whatsoever, no blade steel, no branding, nothing. Like covert ops, you have to go. In Vietnam, they did that. They would have, uh, if you go behind enemy lines and stuff, the special forces would have weapons that would not identify them as American. They'd use like Swedish K machine guns and uh, web gear, and everything else had no markings and stuff on it. And this is kind of one of those like covert blades. But anyways, yeah, I like it. Um, because it doesn't weigh very much, I put it on a shirt in between the buttons, almost like a neck knife. I just have it this clip is very strong retention. I mean, it's very good, very grippy. A lot of times it's almost too grippy. Um, but yeah, I can see why people like I said, I never really complained about uh, the bug out or anything, but that's one of the things I like about this knife right here. It just feels substantial in my hand because it's solid. That's that weight difference type thing going on. And we basically have the same same blade length, same cutting edge. I like this fuller here and the clip point much better. If we could have a fuller on this guy, ooh. If we had this blade on this knife, that'd be something. But again, the FRN feels very plasticky, and it has the give that people were talking about. But this feels fairly, it feels fairly strong. It's not super mushy. Oh my God, I guess you gotta pull this out. I don't worry about that. I realize that this is basically all your blade support up here, and this adds some structural integrity to it, but I'm not going to be batoning with this knife, although you could if you wanted to. Small little logs. Again, why are you doing this? But, go ahead. It's your knife. If you have fun with it, I don't want to rain on anybody's parade. If you like using your knife as a hatchet, go ahead. Who am I to take anybody's joy out of it? I'm just saying I'm not going to do it. If I do, I'll let you know. I'll say, hey, I'll eat my own words. Hey, there is a use for it. And anyways, this has been, like I said, it's flat. It's been one of my favorite characters. Flipper. I don't have to worry about, I don't like thumb studs that much. This one here does have thumb studs, but I can use the fuller if I want to. And so that makes a big difference. I can slow roll off the fuller. It's almost like a spidey hole there, it keeps your thumb in position. Again, this is kind of what they did with the little opening here, but it's not as easy with this one. You can do it. These I just got. Not just got. I got them for the reason of I mainly wanted this was the first one I got, was the copper one. And I don't know if I got that one or this one. But anyways, I wanted to see the weight. I think I got this one afterwards because I thought, wow, that's pretty good. I wonder what this would feel like. And wow, it's just, again, this is almost like this. This is a better version, I think, than the Bugout because it's contoured G10. It feels solid in the hand. It does have some structural integrity in there. cutout liner. You know, I mean, still, it's there. I mean, it goes all the way back. Again, not that that makes a huge amount of difference, you know, when you're doing that, because really, anyways, there you go. I've rambled on long enough. It's gonna take forever to upload this video, and yeah, thank you, dinosaurs. This is very lightweight, easy to carry around, decent sized blade on it and everything, and yeah, I'm glad I've got an example of it. And there you go. Tell me what you think about the Bugout. You know, if you've ever had one, if you think it's worth the money, you know, for the name brand one and everything. And yeah, I know it's got a lot of fans. My biggest complaint about the Bugout is, I think if it had come out at $90, that's a big stretch considering what it is, but that's more realistic. But if by the time it gets up to $200, $180 or whatever, yeah, you got different steels and all that other stuff. But really, all you got is, look at the amount of material. FRN, all it takes is injection mold. It's not like they take a lot of time crafting this out. It's like stamp, 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 stamp. They're turning these out like crazy. And putting it together, geez, you know, that it doesn't take a lot of skill or effort. Yeah, the initial company is always going to have, it's going to cost them a lot more because they do the initial research and development. Really, what all kind of thinking, research, and development did that involve? Probably quite a bit. You know, a lot of it's hidden in there. But I mean, that's what's factored in the cost. But I think price. If you're trying to make a huge profit off of every knife that you churn out, why should people buy that? Is my question. When there are alternatives that are much cheaper, and in many cases, better materials, more materials. You know, it's just one of those things. It's up to you what you want to spend your money on and how much you want to spend and everything. For me, if I can find something like this, would be a perfect work knife. You know, if you lose it or somebody borrows it and messes it up when you turn, you can still chew them out, but you haven't sacrificed, you know, an expensive knife for it. I mean, this is like $60. That's decent. That's about what these go. 60, 80, depending on what it is. You know, this one I think I paid close to $80. It didn't have these covers on them. I swapped them with another one, but it's 35 yen. You pay for that, you know, steel. All the other ones were D2, but there you go. Still, I'm rambling along too much. I'm gonna have to make this a video on its own. I'll do the other one because I got an intro to this. I'll put that one up first and then this one because I talk too much. Anyway, there you go. Thank you for watching and have a nice day.